Hey, everybody. It's wonderful to be with you here. I've got a topic today that's meaningful to my heart, which includes devotional spiritual practice. And I'm getting ready to launch the next round of an immersive practice I facilitate and guide people through and with for my own sake for going on 20 years now. We start back up in October. And you're welcome to join in that if you're hearing this. If you get me word, I'll send you more information about that. And there's two different groups, and they're both geared in the way of immersive spiritual practice and the power of devotion in real life, not like sitting on a cushion meditating. And nothing wrong with sitting on a cushion meditating. That's for doggone sure. Get on a cushion and meditate. This is about a deeper inner exploration into our belief systems, our BS, not just about our belief systems, though, but an absolute different way of being in ourselves, being with ourselves, being with all parts of ourselves. A way of living that's not confined to the meditation cushion or a Sunday service for that matter, one that is truly immersive, that is alive when we're in the kitchen, when we're in the car, when we're in our office, our workplace, our relationships, our family reunions, at the voting polls, wherever we are. So, talking about an immersive spiritual practice, the power of devotion as a daily, minute to minute, moment to moment alignment, interaction to interaction, relationship to relationship, phone call to phone call, alignment with our highest self. So today I'll include some practices, profound tools that I have benefited from decades now of practice that was founded in the work of Byron Katie. You can find this all available at thework.com, thework.com. And she basically uses 4 questions, which is considered in the therapeutic world to be cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and it is to do inquiry into what we believe, what we're thinking and believing, the consequence of thinking it and believing it, the consequences of the way we interpret what we think and believe, and the absolute infinite possibilities that exist when we can interrupt that patterning. It also then leads us to meeting our parts with a different way of being with our parts. So, not a sermon, another sermon about concepts, but a sermon of practice and application. So, spirituality then is not a part of our life. It is our life if we actually have a life. It's when prayer is more, when prayer is more, when prayer is how I speak, not just what I say, how I feel it, how I express it. One of the folks today in this ministers meeting I said, I'm in, said, it's the difference of somebody singing a song and feeling the song they're singing the song as a message, not as a performance. So singing for transformation, not for performance. So not praying to perform, but praying to transform my mind. When forgiveness is how I breathe, when forgiveness is how I think, pray, align myself. And when devotion is not reserved for a script I'm going to read or a passage in the Bible, and nothing against that, but devotion that goes beyond that, one that flows into how I am living my life, how I answer the phone, the tone I use, how I respond when I don't get my way, how I respond to an angry 9-year-old or to an angry teenager, or how I make soup or water the plants or feed the birds or anything else. So this devotion here is not about being saintly. It's about being present, being available, being aligned. Devotion is giving God, the higher power, whatever you call it, our source, the sacred attention in ordinary moments. Not just 11 o'clock on Sunday or 10 o'clock on Sunday, but the devotion to give sacred energy, sacred space to ordinary moments. It's a friar, I think by the name of Brother Lawrence, said it as, we can do little things for God. I turn the cake that is frying on the pan for the love of God. So the love of God in little things, all little things. And immersive practice to bring the divine into day to day, into the deadlines, into the dramas, into the dishwasher, into the dusting. Immersive practice. So let's bring it home in our families, these workplaces, and this, and to see what's possible as we're able to do this. So when we say, let there be peace on earth, we are living that as an example, a way of being that. So every one of us get triggers. We have triggers. We have traumas. And we're more and more apt to get triggered. Someone close to us can get on our very last nerve and trigger us in a way that even strangers can't. Children, our parents, partners, people in our house, of course, are going to be triggering to us. And if we look at then using the work, for example, the work of Byron Katie, and how we could be with this differently, here's an example of it. So it's knowing that it's not the people in our life that upsets me, it's my thoughts about them that are upsetting me. That's the basic tenet of the work. It's not the people in your life who upset you. It is your thoughts about them that's upsetting you. So let's say your spouse says something short or temperamental or cold to you. The mind then will say, a part of you will say, oh, they don't respect me. They don't love me. They don't understand me. They will absolutely go out and interpret what just happened. So this inquiry says, if we're questioning, they don't respect me, for example, they don't respect me. She was short, temperamental, cold, moody, grumpy, grouchy. Yes, she doesn't respect me. Is that true? Can I absolutely know that it's true that her reaction equals the fact that she doesn't respect me? Can I absolutely know that to be true? How do you react? What happens when you believe that what she just did or how she did it is a measure of her respect for you? How do you react? And who would you be without that thought? Who would you be if you noticed how she responded and didn't interpret it to be that she didn't respect you? Who would you be if you could observe that was happening and not believe the thought, she doesn't respect me? This is devotion. This is taking the time to inquire, not to the other person's mood or tone of voice, but to the truth, to peace, and for the love of peace, and to staying out of the suffering of believing an interpreted, made up, stressful story of some sort. So then she doesn't love me. She doesn't respect me. It's like, can I absolutely know that for sure? How do I react when I believe that? Who would I be if I didn't? They're rude. Can I absolutely know that how they just responded is rude? Can I know that for sure? Like, I've not walked in their shoes today. I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know about their financial circumstances. I don't know about their physical circumstances. They may have gotten a disease or diagnosis. They may not have slept all night. Can I absolutely know that it's rude? How do I react when I believe it's rude? It's like, well, give her a dose of it. Give her back rudeness. Judge, condemn, blame, shame. Who would I be if I simply didn't believe her actions were rude? I'd be calmer, connected to self, integral to my own devotion, my own process here, less reactive, more compassionate. Real possibility here. Real possibility. Then we live then the turnarounds through the work. She doesn't respect me. It's like, I can't know that to be true. I've got to leave her actions as just what they are, and an absolute mystery of I don't know what caused her to do that. I don't know what caused her to react that way. I can't know. And nor can I control it. So then I'm left with what can I do in this situation? How can I relate to this differently? So this helps me then to interrupt the patterning of our very old ways of decades, centuries of this, that we've been programmed and wired up to be reactive, insulted, irritated, frustrated, let down, mad, instead of like, there's a way to be with this human process differently. Devotion will lead me there. Devotion is the ticket out of this suffering, the ticket out of this mental prison, this hell of the mind that's busy interpreting, making up something, and then believing what it made up. It also helps us to stop arguing with reality and to start collaborating with it. So then any should is an indicator that I'm arguing with reality. Like she shouldn't have been so cold. She should have responded more kindly. She should have called me back when she said. She should have kept her word. None of this actually happened. So the should is where all the stress is, not in what actually happened. And then it can point us back to looking at myself. How often do I keep my word? What's happening in my life when I tell people I'll call them back and then I can't? Or if I didn't, like my day didn't go as planned, or it didn't even occur to me to call them, or work took priority over those calls. So then I can say, oh, I can have some understanding about this. I actually can have some compassion about this. This allows us to stop banishing our anger, our fear, our insecurity, and projecting it, displacing it through ourselves onto other human beings, and to begin to accept these parts of ourselves as innocent, naive, misunderstood, and unregulated aspects of ourselves. And I'll throw in here few of my favorite Byron Katie quotes. I worked with her for years and years and years. When you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. So any should is an argument with reality. You lose 100% of the time. So see what it would be like this week to stop using the word should, to catch it. Traffic should flow. The rain should have waited till Saturday. There shouldn't be war. It's like, is there war? Has there been war since the beginning of time? So my saying there shouldn't be war is creating more war, perpetuating the very reality that I claim I want to see less of, less war in the world. So if we simply could do less arguing with reality, less war in the world, particularly the war that's in here that causes us to go to war out there. So devotion is not resisting what is. Spiritual practice is not about resisting what is. Spiritual practice and devotional spiritual practice is meeting what is differently. Meeting what is with the highest thinking we have, with connection, with collaboration, with compassion, with clarity, with an ability to discern a different way of being. So it's not dramatic. It's quieter. It's not dramatic, it's more intimate. And it is choosing truth over dramatics. It's also choosing facts over feelings about the facts. And compassion over controlling, and curiosity over condemnation. So many of you have heard me say, like, at the end of our life, it's going to be like, here's the grave of Martha Creek. She had issues. Here lies Martha. She had dramas. Here lies Martha. She was controlling as could be. Or here lies Martha. She had compassion over controlling. She had curiosity, wonder, more than condemnation. Here lies Martha. She had issues and she had ideas for how to be led by something besides the issues. What would your gravestone say? So your life is not separate from your spiritual life. Your life is not separate. My life is not separate from my spiritual path. My family, my coworkers, my inner critics, the classroom, they're all sacred companions. Sacred companions. And I don't need to escape my life to find peace. You don't need to escape your life to find peace. We need to enter it more fully, with more presence and more devotion. So every moment becomes an altar. Every upset is a teacher. Every part of us is welcomed home to integrate within ourselves that which has been disowned. And as we practice, may we find that the self, the highest self in us, the calmer, more compassionate, courageous self, is not something we become based on what unity teaches and what unity believes, but something we already are. When we can accept what is, we'll be less at war with this. May this be your devotion. May this be your freedom. And may this be your life lived. And may it be my devotion, my freedom, and my life lived infinitely and eternally. Bless you, friends, in all the ways that you remember who and what you are. Much love. marthacreek.com to contact me.
marthacreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.